Can you tell us a little bit about the culture that you tried to set at Nvidia?
Yeah, that's a good question. The question is, can I talk about the culture that we're trying to set at Nvidia? At the core of our company's success is innovation. Now, a lot of companies say innovation is important to their company. Invention is important to their company. However, I don't believe you can fundamentally say that innovation, that you want as a CEO to nurture the spirit of innovation, to encourage innovation, unless you have a culture of risk-taking. We have to encourage our engineers, our marketing people, right, all of our employees, to take calculated risks. In order to encourage them to take calculated risks, first of all, you have to teach them how to do that. That's a skill, a matter of skill. Then the second part of it is a matter of courage. Most people hate to fail. Do you guys agree with that? Well, unless you guys want to be successful, let me say it the positive way. If you want to be successful, I would encourage you to grow a tolerance for failure. To develop a tolerance for failure. Now, when I mean a tolerance for failure, I don't mean, gee, what Jensen just told me is sleep in until noon, okay? Don't do any of my homework, flunk out of all my classes because that defines failure, right? That's not what I said. What I said is, what I'm trying to say is that I want you to try things even though it is impossible to calculate precisely that it would lead to success. That your instincts, your intuition is something you ought to follow. If it wasn't because of following my own instincts or the founder's instincts or many of our employees' instincts, why would we be where we are today? And why would we have invented things that the market's never had before, the world's never had before? So you have to have this culture or tolerance for risk-taking. But the thing about failure is this. If you fail often enough, you actually might become a failure. And that's different than being successful. And so the question is, how do you teach someone how to fail, but fail quickly? And to change courses as soon as you know it's a dead end. And the way to do that is we call it intellectual honesty. We assess on a continuous basis whether something makes sense or not. And if it's the wrong decision, let's change our mind. And you know, a lot of people say CEOs are always right and they never change their mind. That doesn't make any sense at all to me, especially when it violates the first principles of what we want the company to become. An innovative company that invents amazing things, that solves problems for the world that it sometimes didn't even know it had. Right? If you want to do that, then you have to cultivate that tolerance for risk-taking, and you have to then teach people how to fail, but fail quickly and inexpensively, and how to be direct with each other that this is the wrong approach and what's the better approach, and then be flexible enough to change courses and quick. And so that type of culture, if you will, in today's, if you guys were to start a company and you were building a website with an internet service of some kind, internet-based service of some kind, with the competition coming from all over the world, and it's 24/7, and ideas take no time to experiment, and a particular website or a particular company could be throwing ideas out into the world 20 a day. And so unless you are thoughtful about risk-taking and being able to change your mind, reacting to the market conditions, and being flexible, how are you going to stay alive? And so you could almost see what I just described in the nature of older companies and the nature of the newer companies. The modern companies, if you guys, I'm sure you guys all go to Google's website, almost every single application's in beta form. They're trying all kinds of stuff, right? They're trying all kinds of stuff. If they call it production and it doesn't work well, you guys would just be upset at them. So they call it beta. Have you noticed? They call it beta so that they could try a lot of things. And if it fails, take it out. If it's bad, take it out. If it works, do more. And so innovation requires a little bit of experimentation. Experimentation requires exploration. Exploration will result in failure. Unless you have a tolerance for failure, you would never experiment. And if you don't ever experiment, you would never innovate. If you don't innovate, you don't succeed. You'll just be a dweeb. That's it.